Hey everybody, welcome in to Yaya's Best Life. How is everybody doing today? Thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope everybody is having, let's see, today's Wednesday, hump day. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful hump day. I didn't, Connie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
see anybody else though.
Huh?
Should I be able to see anybody else?
Can you see the comments? Are you on your laptop?
Yeah.
Can you see comments?
I see a word that says comments. There's nothing in it because it's the line is under private chat or something.
Bring in.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay, well, you don't want private chat. There should be another one that just says comments.
Yeah, I just clicked on it. Now I see it.
Okay, great. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm so happy for you guys to meet my BFF from Washington
State. If any of you watch Sherry, you know that's her line, but I'm used to it.
Is something on? Maybe it was just the connection. Something real funny just happened.
I just made my screen big.
Oh, maybe that was what it was when you changed it. What were you saying? Because it glitched a little bit.
Oh, I just said, hey, family. I said, that's Sherry's show. That's what she uses in her show. So I'm kind of copying her if anybody in here watches Sherry.
You guys would be so surprised because Connie is not a social media person at all. So I am thankful. I'm blessed. I am so humble that she has taken her time to come on Yaya's Best Life and to talk to us today about a subject that is very serious, and a lot of people are going through it. And she's going to share with us her story, her journey. And as you guys could tell from the thumbnail, March is colon cancer awareness. And my BFF has been a 22-year cancer survivor of colon cancer. So she has been so gracious as to come on and to talk to us. If you have any questions, just put a question mark in the chat and then ask your question. That way, that'll trigger me to see the question amongst all of the other comments going through. So Connie, let me welcome in those that are in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get started chit-chatting.
Okay, now make sure I hope everybody understands. I'm amateur at this, so please forgive me if I screw up something.
Oh, you can't screw up nothing. We just gonna relax and talk about things, so it's all good. But welcome in sunshine to sunset with Rashonda. How are you? Thank you so very much for coming in today. And Wellness with Frugal Mama. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in as well. Tamika Davis, thank you for joining us. My sis, Lashes Journey, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you taking your time and coming in. Oops, look like I lost Connie. I'm sure she'll be back shortly. And Praying Couple Cooking Series. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Thank you guys for joining us today as well. I hope she come back. She didn't leave me. Welcome in, Fifi. How are you? Thank you for coming in and joining today. My girl, Sipping with Your Magic. How you doing, sis? Thanks for joining. Oh, I made it down to the bottom, I'm sure. Oh, Joshua. Hey, Joshua. How are you? We lost our guest. Something glitched. So I'm sure she will pop back on here shortly. So we will just chit chat until I see her back in the studio again. But I thank you guys for joining us today. And I'm looking so forward to you guys. Oh, so my brother is texting me and saying no volume. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you can't hear me, let me know. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Am I mute? You can hear me. Okay. Thank you. And for those of you that watch the replay, welcome in, and thank you for watching this replay. I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good, sipping with your magic, having a wonderful day. It's nice here in Florida today. Wasn't a lot of sunshine. It was kind of a little bit cool, but it was a beautiful day. Keep eating clean. You look healthy and glowing. Yeah, we hear you. Thank you, Lashes. Thank you. I've been doing pretty good with my eating. Today is day 29. I know I'm a couple days behind on dropping videos, but so much is going on this week, but I will get my videos out. But nope, I have not had any meat this month. Still just totally plant-based. I'll have some rice every now and then. I'll have half of a baked potato or something. Welcome in, Organic Cosmetics. Thank you so much. Somehow our guest fell off, so I'm not real sure. Welcome in, Deborah Garrett. I may put you guys on mute here for a second and make a phone call to her, because I'm sure there must be something that happened. Oh, there she is. Is she laughing? I was just getting ready to call you. What happened? What happened?
Well, I went over in the comments section where all the pictures were, and I was getting ready to scroll, and it just flipped out. So I ain't touching nothing.
Don't touch nothing.
I'm not touching I said, well, when I get back in, they'll be done.
No, we just chatting. We knew you would be back. I told him, I said, and I was just getting ready to put it on mute and call you to say, what is going on over there?
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, I'm glad that you're back. I'm still just welcoming in other people. Precious Pieces, welcome in. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining today. So it's after 6 o'clock. So I suppose we should get started here, and I'll periodically, Connie, jump over to the chat, and if I see more people coming in, so we can welcome them in as well.
Okay.
So, for those of you that just came in, I was telling those that came in earlier, this is my BFF, Connie, and she is a 22-year colon cancer survivor. And
Stage
she has
4.
been, huh?
Stage 4 colon cancer.
Stage 4 colon cancer survivor. And she's going to tell us her story and walk us through her journey. And I have a few questions, but she pretty much is going to tell us about having cancer, living with cancer. If you guys have any questions for her, please put a question mark in the chat along with your question. That way, that'll clue Yaya, because y'all know I'll be up and down with the bifocals. That'll clue me to look over there so that I can ask your question. So let me get started, Connie. First off, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Connie, and I just hit my 70th birthday this year. Yay. And I like to exercise. I love spa time. I love relaxation. I love the Lord, and I love all my wonderful friends and family.
Okay, and that is her. She is exactly right about that. Before I moved to Florida, we spent a lot of good times. Not only in her home does she have a jacuzzi and her own personal spa, but there is a spa that we used to go to that's called the Women's Spa. Is it called the Women's Spa, Connie?
Olympus Spa.
Olympus Spa, but it's just for women. And it has all of the jacuzzis and anything you could think of that as a woman that you would want to go in there and to relax. You can get massages, you can get body scrubs, facials, all kind of stuff. And so we spent a lot of time doing that, going to the women's spa. And we done spent a lot of time up in her bathroom all day long and all night long. One time we was up in there and her husband said he was wanted to knock on the door because we had been in there from what, Connie, in the afternoon through the night.
Through the night.
In the sauna, in the jacuzzi, in the steam room, round and round we went.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So welcome in, Blue Lotus. Thank you so much. And Michelle Madison is in the chat, Connie.
Hey, Michelle.
Welcome in, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. So if you're back there in the bushes, meaning that you have not commented to Yaya yet, please drop me a comment, drop Connie a comment, and let us know that you're here. So Connie, when were you diagnosed with colon cancer?
So I was diagnosed in April of 2001. And there were several things that led up to that diagnosis. Months before that, I had some little bowel issues, and every now and then I would have what appeared to be blood in my stool, but it was so sporadic that I would think, well, is it something I ate? Did I have watermelon today or eat something red? Because it didn't happen all the time. And so it wasn't until that went on for a little bit, but it wasn't until I started having cramping. I would eat something and then my stomach would just kind of cramp for a minute and then it would go away. Well, as time went on, the cramping got a little worse. And so that's when I decided, maybe I better go into the doctor and see what's going on here. After my friend and one of my girlfriends at work, we decided to go on the internet and figure out our own diagnosis. And we kept thinking, oh, it sounds like irritable bowel syndrome, but there was just some symptoms about it that was different than irritable bowel. So I went into the doctor, and first they thought it was hemorrhoids and gave me cream and said, well, use this. So I went home and I told my husband after a couple of days, I said, nah, this is not hemorrhoid blood. I'm going to go back. So I went back to my doctor and I requested that I go for a colonoscopy. And only because now that I'm looking on the internet, I started reading kind of about colonoscopies. During the time that I got diagnosed, colonoscopies weren't really talked about, so
Mhm.
you didn't really know it was something that you needed. And I was only 47 years old. So,
Okay. Let me welcome in a couple other people. You see the comment
thank
up here.
you, Fifi.
Yeah, Fifi said you look great to be 70. I wouldn't have guessed.
Thank you, Fifi.
And there was another comment in here. Let me scroll up here. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I'll be. Oh, Michelle says, hey.
Hey, Michelle.
Praying Couple Cooking Series said, Michelle, hello. Thanks for welcoming Michelle. She is a longtime friend of Connie and I. Lashes here says, I'm going to keep eating clean and exercise so I can look like you at 70.
Oh, thank you, Lashes. Thank you all so much.
And Joshua said, hi, Connie, you are so very sweet. Dreams come true and you always live longer life.
Thank you, Joshua. We all can do this.
And Praying Couple says, wow, 70, you look amazing, Connie. Y'all don't swell her head up too much, okay?
Let's forget about the cancer. Let's talk about something else. No.
Oh, okay. So everybody's continuing to speak. Girl, look who's in the chat.
Hey, Clayton.
Clayton Terrible. He has never come into any of my, you had to come on. Okay. He never comes to any of my YouTube stuff. And Sunshine out. She knows my tongue gets twisted, Miss Rashonda. She said prayers. Yes, yes. And Rashonda, I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw my message. So if you want to come up at any time, let me know. And I'll drop the link. Clayton says, you looked great.
Thank you, Clayton.
So you Blue Lotus said, you are beautiful. I would have never guessed 70. Blessings to you.
Thank you all for your wonderful comments. I so appreciate that. I'm trying.
So so you just went through telling us a little bit about yourself and then telling us you were 47 when you got diagnosed. And how did you feel? How did you respond after getting your diagnosis, being 47 and getting hit with that?
Well, when they told me to go in for a colonoscopy, I still wasn't thinking anything. But after the doctor came out and told me after my colonoscopy that there was a tumor there, and I say tumor because it even took me a while to say cancer. I always referred to it as a tumor, but I was scared. I mean, when I got told, when the C word is said to you, the first thing that goes through your mind is, I'm gonna die. And I had a daughter, I had a husband, and I was just thinking, I'm young.
And a best friend.
Yeah, and my best friend, even though you were acting up during that time. But anyway. But it was a really scary moment, and I cried. I cried that night, and so they got me in. They scheduled me quickly for surgery, and I went in probably 3-4 days later, and they did. It may not even been that long, and they did the surgery, and they told me, that yes, there was a tumor there, and it was kind of large, and the reason I was having all the cramping was because it had closed my colon down. So when food would try to get through, that's when I would get all that cramping in my stomach. And that's another thing. my stomach was very loud. There were times when I was in bed, my husband would wake me up because he's like, why is your stomach making so much noise? It would actually wake him up at night. Well, that was because food was trying to get through my colon that was clamped down, which I didn't know about. When they did the surgery, they told me, they said, you probably, well, no, it was actually my oncologist that told me, I probably had that tumor growing for about 10 years before it was found. So
Oh,
it,
really?
they can take that long. You can have one and never know it until the symptoms start. That's what's bad. And that's why go get a colonoscopy. They dropped the age down to 45 now, and as far as I'm concerned, they really don't need to put an age on it. People should be able to go in and just get a colonoscopy. So
So,
even though
Connie,
they're
uh,
45,
but that's what I was going to ask you too. What the age? So that when you was diagnosed, what
it,
was the
it,
age
it
to
was
get?
50.
It was 50 to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even now, even though they say 45, I'm telling you, if you have stomach issues, go in and get checked because you don't have to be 45. And they're talking now how a lot of young people are getting colon cancer. So
Yes.
stomach issues, go in and don't let them just tell you, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. If you know your body and know how you should be feeling, you talk up for yourself and say, no, I want to have a colonoscopy. So that's my best advice to you.
I wanted Rashonda to
Oh, I
tell her
see.
own story, but she has made a comment. That's why I had sent you a message, Rashonda. I was telling you about today's interview, and if you wanted to come up, let me know, and I would drop the link for you to come up as well, because I know we have discussed what you are walking through right now. But she says, yes, I was told the same about 10 years ago, and she currently is walking that life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, um, how long ago did you have your surgery, Rashonda?
I'm gonna drop the link, Rashonda. Only if you want to, you're welcome to come up, and I'll go ahead, Connie, and
Okay.
I'm gonna drop the link. And if she wants to come up, she can come up, and if she wants to discuss as well. Um. So okay, so you had your so you got diagnosed, and you said how long after did you have surgery?
It was probably, I mean, they got me in pretty quick. As a matter of fact, I remember it was tax day that they actually did the surgery, April
Mhm.
15th. So I can't remember exactly the date that, you know, they told me I had colon cancer, but it wasn't very long. They got me in pretty quick and did the surgery. And I was in the hospital for probably about a week. And most of that was because when you go in the hospital, they want your bowel function to get right before they dismiss you. And that's the one thing that I always have had trouble with is getting my bowels started again. So that was the problem in the hospital. And but then when I did get out of the hospital, well, while I was in the hospital, they sent and told me an oncologist would be in to see me. And when this man came in, this oncologist, and he walked in the room and he looked at me, came over to my bed, and he kind of took my hand and introduced himself and told me, he's like, you're going to be okay. So that's another thing that's really important. If you ever
Okay.
have to use an oncologist, make sure you get one that you know has your best interests at heart, that you trust, that you feel comfortable with, because he is going to be a very important part of your life along with God. So,
Uh, Rashonda answered your question here. She said, I had surgery the following day after being diagnosed because of bleeding, Yaya and Connie.
oh, okay. Yeah. She kind of sounds like she started out like me.
Yeah. So okay. So you had the surgery, you go home. Tell us how you were feeling after that. Were you going to go right into chemo, or did you know you had to do chemo, or how did
Yes.
that go?
Yeah. The oncologist told me that I would be doing chemo. So he told me I was going to have to, get a port put in, which I have in, and we would be starting chemo, but I would have an appointment with him and he would go over everything with me. So I was feeling when I went into the doctor, because then I had to go in to see the doctor to get a port in. But that this whole time, from the time I heard the word cancer till the time, I don't know, I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of crying. I was very scared, very scared.
Mm-hmm.
So they put the port in, and I went in and started the chemo. And they told me the things that I would probably go through with the chemo. And so I just had to go in with, okay. But I'll tell you another thing that's really important is a support system. My daughter and my husband gave me a lot of strength. Without them, I don't know, it would have been a lot tougher, but you really need a good support system. My daughter, she just was like, Mom, you got to have faith. She gave me a bookmark for my Bible in September of 2002. I still have it. And she wrote on there, she said, Mom, no matter what, don't give up on God. He will be with you if you continue to believe. We have to keep up our faith. Love you, Donna. And I keep this. And she was right. She was very
I
right.
told you don't not have me up here crying today.
Oh, I'm about to cry myself.
Welcome in, Six Bows. She said, "Thank you for joining Planner's Garden TV."
That was
Thank
up there from someone about 17 years or something.
Okay, let me. Was that? Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that was Joshua. He says, "I'm looking 17 years old younger, but now I'm 31. I just did 40 push-ups, 20 squats, 40 jumping jacks, and stretching every day. I just eat right and fluids all times to stay living longer forever." Absolutely.
Good job, Joshua. Keep doing that.
So tell us about your from the time after you were had your chemo, and did it change your life? Meaning, hey, Stacy.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
That's husband.
Don't show him your dirty clothes anymore.
Oh, sorry. It's not.
That's okay. It don't matter, Stacy.
The reason she looks so good.
Huh? What'd he say?
He's the reason I look so good. We'll
Shut
go
up, Stacy. Get out the camera. Go.
So
yeah, how'd your life change?
Well, when I went through the chemo, and he hit me pretty aggressively. He told me because I told him the type of person that I was, and all my vitals and stuff was good because I did exercise. I taught aerobics for 9 years and I lifted weights. I ate pretty healthy. So I was in really good shape. So he said,
Can you show us your guns at 70 so everybody can see your guns?
They'd be better if I don't know, can you see them?
For an old lady, y'all, she pretty good. Yeah, we see her, baby.
But anyway, so he told me he was going to hit me pretty aggressively, and he did. And the chemo, it did. I mean, to begin with, it wasn't bad. And I was like, oh, this is a piece of cake. But as it kind of got into my system, it started, I started feeling it a little more. But I just kept pushing forward. I still got up every morning, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and did my treadmill for 5 miles before I went to work. And so anyway, I went through the first set of treatments, and that was for about maybe a year. And then they did a rescan, and they found 2 spots in my liver. So they decided to hit me with chemo again. And they did chemo again. And after I finished that chemo, they sent me, well, the chemo shrank one of the tumors, and one of them went away. So they sent me to the University of Washington Hospital, and they took off the right lobe of my liver there. And then I did more chemo. So I did a total of 3 years of chemo. from 2001 to 2003. And it had its side effects, but I just kept, exercising and doing the best I could. I ended up in the hospital one time, and it was just before my 50th birthday. Um, and I ended up getting thrust from the chemo down in my esophagus and my stomach, and went in, and I was so sick. This was the one time I really thought I was gonna die. But they put me in the hospital, and then when they figured out what was wrong, they gave me a very strong antibiotic. And by the next morning, I was thanking God. I was like, I never thought I'd feel this good again. So after the 3 years of chemo, and once everything looked good, I was on my way, and I was very happy. I was still scared because Sydney told me, once you're stage 4, you're always stage 4. You can go into remission, but you're still stage 4. Connie, did you do 6 cycles? I think I did more than 6 cycles. Because the first round of chemo was that was probably 6 months. And then, like I said, they rescanned and found the 2 spots in my liver. So then I went through probably another, I'm not really sure how long I went with that. And that was more or less an oral chemo that they gave me called Xeloda. And I did that. And then they did the operation, took the right lobe of the liver off. And so then I did chemo for probably, what was it, maybe a year? Or maybe about a year, maybe 8 months. I don't know. It all seems so long to me. So it was quite a while. I did quite a bit of chemo, but I still felt good. I could tell my body had been through some stuff, but you do what you have to do.
And all this time you were still exercising? And
I was still exercising. I was using the spa. I was drinking a lot of water. I think exercise was the key for me, because I didn't allow myself to let the chemo make me lazy and say, I can't do this or I can't do that. I just kept going. Sometimes, I'd be told by my daughter and my husband, you need to quit doing so much. I'm that type of personality that I do. I just think I can just go on and on and on, and that's what I do. So, did I change my diet? Yeah, I did change my diet some. I tried to stay away from the sugars, although I didn't stay away from them totally, but I did try to minimize the sugar and eat more protein and carbs and lots of water and green tea. And the other thing that's really important that I want to tell people that I did, that I added in with my conventional chemo treatment, I went to a naturopath, an oncology naturopath, and he was with me. My oncologist actually referred me to him, and that was another best thing that could have happened to me, because he knew exactly what chemo drugs I was taking, so he knew exactly what supplements I could take, because just because something is a natural supplement, it doesn't always mean it's going to work with your medicines or your chemo. So that's something that you really need to check with if you're going to be doing supplements when you're taking chemo, is letting your doctor know exactly what you're on. But that helped me a lot. It kept me from getting neuropathy really bad. I got it a little bit, but it went away. But my naturopath put me on a lot of different supplements that helped me with the side effects of the chemo, and it really made a difference. So think about that.
I want to welcome in RX Nails. I saw you came in earlier. I hope you're still here, sis. And I'm sorry that I forgot to mention you. Thank you so much. And cool. Thank you so much for coming in, VOM. Thank you for so much for joining us. Lynn's life lesson. She says, beautiful. You are a walking miracle. God bless you. Thank you, Lynn, for stopping in. I appreciate you.
And on that note, that's another thing I really want to touch on before we run out of time, is the spiritual walk that went with this. When I got cancer, to me, it was the worst thing that could have happened to me in my life. But there were things that I did before that cancer came up. And it wasn't until after I got the cancer that I realized God was talking to me before I was even diagnosed, because I used to go to church, but I would just go to church. I go there because it was Sunday, and you go to church, and when he's done, you get out. You don't talk to people, you just go. And finally, one day I told my husband, I said, we should join the church and become members, and, just to know people and get to know people. And so that's what we did. We joined the church that we had been going to, went through the membership class. My husband and I got baptized together. Again, we had already been baptized before we knew each other, but it was so weird how that happened just before I got the cancer. And so after I got the cancer, I realized that God was telling me then that something's getting ready to happen in your life, and you are going to need your church family. And he was so right. God was right on. Like you said, God is perfect. God is great. He does not make mistakes. And we did not make a mistake on this one. And it was a lot of church people that surrounded me, and even my daughter joined the church and became very active in the church that she joined in, because we both knew, we were like, we got to give this to God. And so my church family was really there for me. They bought me meals, they came over, they prayed with me, they talked to me. And it was through that I realized that cancer was probably the best experience that I have gone through in my life, because it made me grow so much in my faith that I finally realized that I had to put my faith into somebody, and I had to put it into the Lord, because I woke up all the time thinking, I'm going to die from cancer. I'm going to die from cancer. And someone I talked to finally told me, it's like, you know what? You can walk outside today and get hit by a car and get killed, and it has nothing to do with cancer. And I said, you're right. And that's what made me turn my whole life around and stop thinking about cancer and start thinking about and thanking God for every morning that I woke up. And now when I think 22 years, if I had kept that same attitude, I'm going to die from cancer, and being scared and miserable about it, I would have wasted 22 good years that I could have been living with cancer and enjoying life instead of being afraid. So keep that in mind, that you really need to cling on to God. You really do, because it will get your mindset where you need to be. And not to say that I didn't go through some moments. You will go through some times where you go to your little pity party, you cry, you might get in a hole, but you know what? You don't stay there. You don't stay there.
Welcome in Learning to Grow My Own. I believe I've seen a video, or you did a short or something, and you talked about having colon cancer. He says, glad to see y'all doing colon cancer awareness. I'm a stage 3 colorectal cancer survivor.
Yay.
Yeah. So as you saw probably in the title, and I don't know how long you have been on, Connie is a 22-year survivor. And so, yeah, that's what she's doing today, is telling us her story and her journey. Welcome in, Nancy B. Thank you so much for joining us as well.
My colon cancer did come back in 2018, and I went through a surgery again, and I went through 6 months of chemo, walked away feeling fine. Then in 2019, I think it was 2019, I had to go in and they took off a couple of little spots surgically, no chemo. And then another time, I think in 2020, they took off a spot, no chemo. So I just started chemo last week again for 2 spots, very small spots that they saw, one on my liver and one in a lymph node in the groin, but they're so small. And that's why I agreed with my oncologist, let's do chemo, because, let's just go in there and see if we can hit them. And at the same time, if there's any others out there that we might can get, let's just do some house cleaning. And so that's where I am right now. and I'm feeling really good about it. I still feel good. And so I just keep letting God drive that limo He's had me in for these 22 years. So I'm going to let Him keep driving me.
So I think you pretty much has said, but had a question here. How do you keep yourself motivated?
I keep myself motivated by remembering that God is walking with me through this, and that, He's allowed me to come this far for a reason. So I need to be thankful to God for that. And I need to honor whatever it is He has for me to do here. And a couple of things I do, I volunteer for Meals on Wheels. And I also volunteer at the hospital here with the Cancer Resource Center. And that has been like a real blessing to me, because there are times that I go in there, like one time there was a guy who was really kind of having a bad day, talking about how bad it was. He was in the hospital and this and that. And so after the nurse got through working with him, I went in and I said, they're really just trying to help you, And he was just complaining. And I said, well, what kind of cancer do you have? And he said, I have colon cancer. And he said, and my doctor told me I have 5 years to live, and I just feel like I need to get out of here. And, he's going on and on. So I pulled up a chair. I said, well, let me tell you my story. So I told him my story. I said, and I've been a stage 4 colon cancer survivor. This was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So we're about 17 years, whatever. He looked at me and he was like, for real? I go, yeah. I said, so just because somebody tells you you have 5 years, I said, nobody knows how long you have down here except God above. So you take that with a grain of salt. I said, you need to move on with your life. Do what you have to do for you. Don't think about 5 years. Think about every day that you wake up and give thanks to God. And by the time we talked for about over an hour, he was like, I'm so glad you came in my room. He said, I feel so much better. And, I said, well, I feel better because you feel better. So it's things like that where you can really help people. If you go walk, this journey, if you can talk to somebody else and give them encouragement, inspiration, and just hope, they got to have some hope, something to hold on to. You don't know how you make a difference in somebody's life. And it was people that told me these things that made a difference for me, And you will get people that will come up to you and they'll say, oh, yeah, my uncle died from colon cancer. Well, you just say, okay, and leave that alone, because those are the comments you don't want to make. You want to make comments that's going to give people hope. So if you have a story to tell it to somebody, because somebody else that's going through it is going to thank you for that.
Great, great, great. Thank you, Crystal Clear, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Learning to Grow My Own says you have to keep your faith in God, but put it in God's hands. Amen.
Amen. Very much so. And when you say you're going to put it there, we always say we're putting something in God's hand, but we always got to keep a little piece, because we think we can handle this, we can't give the whole thing over. The more you can give over to God, the better off you're going to be, because there's some things we don't have control over. And the fact is, I also had to come to the realization that one day I'm going to die anyway. We're all going to go one day, but it doesn't necessarily have to be from cancer, even if you have cancer. So don't let cancer run your life. You run cancer out.
Exactly. I really needed to hear this. Thanks, Connie and Yaya. If anybody has any questions, we still have about 44 minutes here. If you have any questions for Connie, just put a question mark in the chat and your question, and I'm sure that she'll be happy to answer it. Did you mention I think you talked about things you volunteer for Meals on Wheels, and then you were helping out at the hospital. And then I think you said, did you mention about helping out the ladies with hair and stuff like that?
Well, that was part of the Cancer Resource Center. We did have a program where the women could come in and we give them free wigs. They would get makeup classes. People would come in and do makeup classes for them. So, the American Cancer Society has a lot to offer cancer patients. So that's one thing you can do too, is contact the American Cancer Society. and ask questions and ask things. But a lot of hospitals do have places where women can go and get free wigs, and we don't have the makeup part of the class anymore, but there's probably some that do. So use those resources that are out there for you.
Okay. Sipping with Sheer Magic said, right, positive vibes. Thanks for sharing your story with us. God bless. Cornelia, welcome in. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while. Thank you so much for joining. She says, sometimes God allows things to happen to test our faith.
Exactly. God does not put bad things on us, but he allows us to go through trials and challenges because that's the way we grow, when we learn to depend on him. If everything just went A-okay in our life, we wouldn't think about God. We're like, oh yeah, I'm good. So sometimes you have to have a little stumbling block to make you realize that, you got to keep the faith, and you got to put your faith in God. You got to remember God in your walk with anything you go through.
And we're all here for a purpose or whatever, and it may not feel good and it may not sound good, but we are here to leave a legacy and to help others. And so sometimes the things that we go through, and then when we tell our story, we're helping someone else. And that's one of the best things that I think living on this earth that we can do, is to go out and help other people.
Exactly.
Go, Oprah.
No, he didn't say that.
You was going to have to say something.
I wish I had Oprah's money.
I know that.
I wish
Right?
you.
Learning to grow my own said, and this is exactly why I am learning to grow my own food. You are what you eat nowadays, and you have to stay healthy as possible. Your health is your wealth. Absolutely.
Amen. Amen to that.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
And, I'm open to, if there's somebody out there that's going through this, I tell people, I don't tell people, I try not to say those words, I know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. I've experienced some of what you've gone through, but everybody has their own feelings. And, I talked to people that said, I felt this way and I just didn't want to say anything because I didn't think every feeling you go through is valid. That's your feeling for you. But I can only say that I've walked this cancer walk, so I can talk to you about what I've gone through and how I feel about things. But in the end, it's still your journey. But if there's anybody out there that needs to talk to somebody that's going through it, I don't know how you get my email address, but you can email me because I love talking to people about this.
Well, they can contact me, and then I'll forward that to you, if that's okay. I dropped the link. If there's anyone that wanted to come up to talk one-on-one with Connie, please feel free. Praying Couple Cooking Series says, thanks so much, Connie. My daughter is watching Blonde Diva. She is going through a situation, but God is able. We have to keep the faith. Your story is helping many.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I will just try to remember people. I know I won't remember names, but when I pray to God, I always say, God, you know who's on my heart. And all of you out there are on my heart and will be in my prayers for whatever you're going through, not just cancer, anything.
Cornelia said, job, lost everything, family, income, and health. He kept the faith. Oh, Job. I'm saying job.
Yeah,
Not me, Cornelia. That was real bad. Job lost everything, family, income, and health. He kept the faith. Use Job as an example. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very true.
And Blonde Diva says, yes, Mama. Glory to God, Mrs. Connie. If you do not want to tell your story, talk to the Lord.
That's very true.
And that's true.
Just talk to somebody. talk to somebody. And if you can never find anybody, a human being, God is always there, 24/7.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's number one. Rashonda said, Yaya, I will be reaching out for her information. She's truly inspirational.
Thank you, Rashonda, and I will be looking forward to talking to you, because I like to hear about other people's journeys also. And I know somebody's always got something good they can give me to continue to take along with my journey.
Welcome in, Butter Roll Boutique. She says, Yaya, hello. Thank you for joining us today. And if you just came in and you missed you just came in, please make sure you go back and watch the replay of this. It is so helpful. And even though we ourselves may not be have cancer, someone in your family, a friend, a co-worker, I just think I'm thankful, Connie. I truly am thankful. I know we joke around and play a lot all the time, but I am thankful that for someone that I'm trying to tell y'all, I was scared to ask, even though, me and her, we've been friends for over 30 years. I was like, let me see what she gonna say, because I know she doesn't like social media. She don't have nothing. She ain't got nothing.
I have email.
I was surprised. Well, your email. She's Stone Age, y'all, Flintstone age. And so when I asked her or whatever, she was like, okay. And I was like, what's wrong with you? But no, Connie wants to tell her story because that's the kind of person that she is. And it's going to help someone. And I had told her before we came on, I said, I don't know how many people will be on, but if there's one person on, we've done our job.
Exactly.
It's spreading. Yeah.
And I definitely want to say, when you hearing me saying I, me, this and that, this was God. It's all God. God has given me this. Everything within me to talk to people, to get through this cancer, it's all God. Through my oncologist, and that's why I tell my
Learning to Grow My Own has joined.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I just came up and I wanted to give a little shout out to Courtney there, because I understand exactly how she feels and what she's going through.
Oh, yes. Sometimes just a good word, a prayer can cause a person to forget about what they are going through, if just for a moment. Absolutely.
Yes, prayer, very important.
Yeah. Definitely have to keep God in your faith, and just put everything in His hands, because there's a lot to go through,
It is.
I completely understand.
If I can ask, how long have you
been stage 3?
Yeah, stage 3.
Okay, so in 2018, I'll just give you the whole rundown just so you guys have a whole clear understanding. So in 2018, I was in the military. I was in the Army. I was in there for a good time, whatever the case may be. But, in 2018, June 25th, exact date, came home, went to go to the bathroom like normal, and ended up being, bloody stool. So I had some hot, spicy foods or whatever. So I thought maybe that was it. But something set in the back of my mind was like, yo, just go get checked out anyway. So I went to the hospital. Sure enough, I went to the hospital. They did a CT scan with a contrast.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor kept walking back and forth to the room, back and forth from the room. I'm wondering, like, what's taking this lady so long? I know I'm good. I'm good. But just she needs to come on, hurry up. And as soon as she walked past the door and she looked at me and she had tears in her eyes, I was like, oh, something's not right. Sure enough, she came in. You got a big old mass, in your colon, on your rectal area. And sure enough, stage 3. Just from one bloody stool, that was it. Didn't have no prior symptoms, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
And then did you have surgery?
I had chemo. I did chemo. I did radiation, which was awful. Trust me, very awful. And then after that, I had 2 major surgeries. I had to, first one they went and took it out. And when they took it out, there was nothing there. It was a stage 0. From a stage 3 to a stage 0. So when I was doing the chemo, I was doing other things, the alkaline water, foods, and home remedies, CBD, medical marijuana. I was doing all that stuff, anything. And then I put my faith in God. I was praying like crazy,
Yeah.
So I don't know which one cleared it. Could have been chemo, could have been radiation, could have been all the home remedies I was doing, but I did them all, and I kept my faith in God that whole time, So I know I'm not saying I'm the best person or the luckiest person in the world. I'm just happy I did what I did, and I just want to pass that along so that way if anybody else is going through it, they understand, like don't just go just for the chemo and radiation. Try the home remedies. Go try the CBD oil. Go try the medical marijuana, Don't just brighten the horizons for it all,
That's very
And make sure you keep your 100 faith in God.
That's so very true.
But as I was saying, like when they went in, after they did all the surgeries, they brought it out to me, like they showed me the paperwork afterwards after, I was recovering, I came back about a month later and they showed it to me like, hey, you're stage 0. There's nothing there. They took out like a foot and some change of the colon. They did check all the lymph nodes. Nothing there. It was all gone. It's a miracle.
Great.
And I'm happy and I praise God every day for it.
That's good for you. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I still suffer. Because as well as as a person from having colon cancer, you still suffer from LARS. Some of us suffer from LARS. A lot of people don't understand what that is. That's lower anterior resection syndrome, where sometimes you can't control yourself no longer. So like I said, mine was in the rectum. So.
And I have heard that I've never had the radiation, but I have definitely heard that radiation is a tough one. That radiation.
Oh well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you about the radiation. So being since I had it in the rectum area, I mean, like, not to be like woo, nasty or funny, but it's like, can you imagine somebody cutting your backside up, right, with razor blades and pouring alcohol over it?
Ooh.
That's how it is when you have to use the bathroom after that radiation hits you there.
Oh wow!
And I've heard that. I've heard exactly like you're saying it.
That's how it was.
Well, I am so thankful that you are doing well and you're doing all the things that you did to, go through your cancer journey, and you too get just like you're doing now. You get out there and you tell people your story, because you're going to change somebody's life that's going through exactly or something a little different than what you went through. But
exactly. I try the best I can to help other people and talk to other people about it, but sometimes it gets a little bothersome, because I still suffer from different things. Like I said, the LARS, I still suffer from, and then like after they did that surgery, my large intestine still swells up. Like my large intestine swells up to 33 centimeters at times. So I gotta be careful what I eat now. So that's the reason why I learned to grow my own foods now, because when I was getting food from like the store, like anything that has the skin on it or has certain things or seeds in it, I wasn't able to eat. So I got a dietitian. He was like, hey, why don't you start going? Then when I was laying there, I was watching Lev Farmer, and I was like, wow, if I can grow my own food, and this man is showing us how to do this, and that's when I started jumping onto the train to grow my own food. Because when I was sick and laying there, I was watching Lev Farmer the whole time, learning how to grow all this food.
He's another content creator, Connie, that talks a lot about growing your own food and prepping.
Yeah. And that's why I learned how to grow what I'm doing now, and then I was watching other content creators as well growing food. And then that's just where I started, from a green bean doing hydroponics. And then from there, now I got all types of fruit trees and vegetables growing everywhere and bananas growing. So, I mean, just trying to do what I can on my own and eat my own food to be healthy.
Absolutely.
And that's really good. And the other thing is now, yes, we can do all that we can. We can eat healthy. We can be healthy, and you can still get hit with this, but because they're finding out now, genetics plays a lot into this. So, it's really good if you can if something happens with you like this, ask your oncologist, to make sure they do genetic testing, so that you'll know if a family member later is going to be coming back, you know, and having to go through this same things. And same with breast cancer. You know, there's women up getting a mastectomy before they're even diagnosed, just because they know that gene is there and it could happen. So
yeah, but you know what else is crazy is like when I was in there and I was getting treatments and you know all the stays I had to do in the hospital from all the stuff I had to go through, I was seeing younger people. Because I was at 40 when I found out. I was seeing people coming in there younger than me, in their 30s, their 20s. You know, that is sad. And then these people tell us, hey, go check at 50, 55 years old is when you need to be checked. No, we got to get checked sooner. Get checked in your 20s. Get checked in your 30s.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what I told them earlier. Don't listen to this stuff about you don't need to be checked until you're 45. No, if you see any changes in your bowels and your stomach is bothering you, you go get checked, and don't let them send you home. Say, oh, nothing's wrong. You know, if one don't tell you, go to another doctor, but don't let them tell you that.
Yeah, but in like like in my case, I didn't have no prior symptoms. I didn't have no prior signs. Just that one bloody stool was all it took.
Wow.
It was already a stage 3. I mean, God forbid if I had just passed on, if I had just let that go, you know what I mean, and not pay no mind to it. Oh, it was just that spicy chicken I had that night. You know,
that's what
I probably wouldn't even been here. You know, to even be talking to you guys about this story. You know,
that's very true. So
Donna said, "Hi, Mom." She said she likes. What did she say? I love the. Hi, Mom. I love hearing you talk.
Yeah. Hi, Donna.
But yeah, I just wanted to come up here and, you know, share my little story with you guys and
thank
make
you.
sure, you know, I talk to you, Connie, because, you know, I understand what you're going through and keep your faith. That's all I can tell you. Keep your faith and be as healthy as you can. And just look out for other remedies to try as well. You know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And thank you.
Chemo and radiation is okay, I guess, but I mean, then we know it's not the best for your body. But I mean, I'm sure there's other remedies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my oncologist at one point when I had a spot by my duodenum, and he went to take it out, and he after it was done, and he said, you know, I thought about doing chemo in that area because, you know, it could come back. He said, but I mean, doing radiation. He said, but I don't want to do that because I think if I do radiation on you there, you're going to have more problems.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that he didn't after some of the stories I heard.
And I mean, I know a lot of people may not like what I'm going to say, but your oncologist, if you're going through chemo or you're going through anything, they can give you a medical marijuana license, just so you guys know this. And I don't know how certain states work, but my state, like the oncologist signs off on it. There's a waiver, and then you can go get your medical marijuana license to go get the CBD or the medical marijuana, whatever it is you want. But trust me, it does help. It helps me with the pain.
And
I mean, everybody has their own, you know, whatever they want to say about it. I'm telling you, for me, it helps me increase the E, and it helps the pain go away.
I totally agree with you on that, people. I have heard that from a lot of people. I know at one point when I got sick after a surgery they did, and I could not eat. I could not keep anything down. I got to 130 pounds, which I haven't been that since I was a baby. Finally, somebody told me about the candy. I went and got the candy, and that saved me. I finally got to eat. That saved me.
It's correct, because I was at 230 pounds in the military, nice and fit. After all that stuff I went through, I went down to 160 pounds.
Been there, done
and if
that.
you're not physically fit or you're not ready when it comes to that radiation and chemo, it's going to take a real toll on you. You're going to drop a lot of weight. A lot of weight.
The earlier you can go into the situation, the better off you're going to be.
Correct.
Well, thank you so much, Learning to Grow My Own. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so very much for telling your story. And I know that it is helping others.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your information. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, and stay blessed.
You too.
You too. Donna, you want to come up and see your mom? I'll drop the link and just click on the link. You and Michelle are welcome to come up if you like. And then we're going to get ready to get out of here. We're going to let Connie give her final words here shortly. Let's see. Thank you. This chat is really booming here. I was 178 and dropped down to 135 and the weight went quick.
Yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. Yeah, me and Rashonda need to talk.
I will make sure to get you guys connected.
Well, Rashonda and I. Let me get my English right.
Yeah.
Shut up, Carla.
Hey, you're not the one to be.
Don't be using my government name. I'm Yaya.
Oh, I'm sorry, Yaya. Oh, but anyway, while we're waiting for Donna and them, my final words are just that I thank everybody for being here to listen to what, I had to offer. And I hope that someone in this conversation got something out of what I said that will help them. And I love you all. I don't want to see anybody have to go through this, but just know that if you do, that doesn't mean it's a death sentence. There's a lot of people living with cancer, surviving cancer these days. So don't just put it aside and say, I'm going to die. No, you're not going to die. You're going to live, and you're going to live a better life because you're going to grow in your faith and you're going to trust God more. And that alone is going to give you your best life. So thank you all. And thank you all for your comments.
Donna's in here.
Hi,
Donna,
Mom.
you got something? Let me see. What are you on? Are you on your phone?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I was hearing a little echo, something going on. I didn't know if you had something extra open.
Is the TV on?
Yeah, I'm going to the bedroom now.
Okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
put some light on yourself, sister. Y'all, this is my first child, Connie's daughter.
Lord. Yeah, I can tell you.
Yes, my second mom and my first mom.
Yes.
I can tell you some stories about her and her second mom.
We'll have to have another live. Okay, Donna, you still got something going on your phone.
What do you mean?
I don't know, because I keep hearing something.
Is it mine?
I don't know. Are you right? Both of you are on a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else open?
No, I'm in the back. I'm in the room and I got nothing
I
else.
mean, on your phone, you don't have any other apps open?
No.
Oh. Don't be talking to me like that, being all strong and no, and all that kind of stuff.
Public.
Yeah, in public.
Carla's talking.
Oh, I think you fail to know that we are over 50 now.
Well, I don't care if y'all over 50 or not, y'all still little girls.
You should have known she was going to tell you that, Michelle.
Huh?
I said you should have known she was going to tell you that. You still ain't grown.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
you still ain't all that grown or whatever. Yeah, we used to all travel together when they was little girls and stuff. Shoot.
Well, let everybody know that this is my daughter, Donna, that I was talking about, was so supportive to me. If they can't hear me, I don't know.
We can hear you. That's Donna. I don't know what Donna got going on with the phone, but there's some feedback.
Hey, me.
It stopped now.
Michelle?
I'm miking my mic, and then
yeah, I know. I saw that.
What do you
do?
How do you
look like y'all got pretty good weather in Seattle today.
Yeah, we do. For us, it's like summer, huh, Michelle?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yep. So, well, Connie, I am so thankful, so very, very thankful that you said yes to coming up here and telling your story. And it seems like everybody in the chat have been thankful, and you've made some connections. And again, if there's anybody that would like to contact Connie or talk to her, just reach out to me, and I will get with Connie and we'll exchange email addresses for you guys to communicate, and you guys can take it from there.
And thank you for having me, Carla. Yeah, I wasn't ready for this, you know me, but I'm really glad you invited me to do this. And I hope that I really help somebody out there. And to each and every person out there, be intentional about having a good life.
Yep. And getting checked. What do you call it?
Colonoscopy.
Well,
What?
no, but I mean, make sure that you go in and you get your colonoscopy.
Yes,
Get
yes.
screened.
Yeah, get screened.
And if
Stacy's in
Dr.
the background,
young, tell them no, I'm not.
huh?
I told everybody if your doctor says you're too young to have colon, tell them no, you're not.
Yeah. Where's Stacy at?
Stacy, your friend wants to see you.
I have a couple questions for him before we get out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
So, as a husband, how has this been for you?
Challenging, but I've learned a lot from Connie and what faith does for you. And she's just got a strong will, and she's a strong person inside, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I don't know. She's kind of held me up more than I've held her up sometimes, I feel. So, but I mean, it's all been good, but we're still in it together, and you don't want to have to go through this, but we are, and it is what it is, and we just keep on praying that she can keep on continuing on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
That's right. You better take care of my friend. Don't be mistreating her and stuff.
Right. If I know, and he find a new girlfriend, you're gonna have to screen her.
That's right. He already know ain't none of that crap happening.
That's a whole other program.
Yeah, I have to set a one-on-one up with Stacy.
Yeah.
That'll probably bring in the ratings.
Nobody wants to know what's up with Stacy.
Oh, thank you guys so very much. I will give everybody their time back. If there's any one last question you got for Connie, please feel free to just go ahead and drop it there in the chat. But Donna, thanks for coming up. I'm so happy to see you. You look so good.
Thank you. And I thank you for doing this with my mom. I just, from my perspective, I just want to say, as the daughter and an only child, there were scary times. I was more scared than mom probably knows, but I also knew that the only thing that I could do was put my hope in God as well. And I know I went to my mom's appointments, and when she had to go into the screening booths and things like that, while she was in there, I had my hand on those booths and I was praying while she was in there. And I know she doesn't know that because she was in the booths, but that's what I was doing. So
absolutely. Y'all ain't gonna make me cry today. Y'all I got the chills or whatever.
My daughter fought for me. She did.
Yeah.
She kept telling me, Mom, you just keep going. I got all kind of little things around this house that she gave me that, kept giving me my strength. Telling me keep going.
I remember the doctor told her that she had about a 5% chance, and mom was kind of sad. And I said, Mom, why can't you be part of the 5%? Just because,
absolutely,
you
Donna.
know what I mean? Somebody's got to be part of the 5%. Why can't it be you?
She did say that. You did say
absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Well, you know how your mama is. She ain't going nowhere.
About how I am.
Yeah, you know how they always say it's them mean people, whatever. She ain't going nowhere. Not right now, whatever. We all gonna go sometime, but she ain't going nowhere right now because she
No.
Welcome in, boss lady. Thank you, boss life. I always call you boss lady, but you are a boss lady at that too. But thank you in boss life. Thank you so very much. Well, we're going to get ready to get out of here. Thank all of you guys for joining us. And if you did just come in, please go watch the replay. A lot of great gems were dropped today.
Yes.
Maybe that was Michelle. Michelle says, love y'all.
Love you too.
Connie dropped a lot of great gems, and I will most certainly thank you again, Learning to Grow My Own, for coming up on the panel and sharing your story as well. And thank you guys for all being so kind to my BFF. I appreciate you guys being so kind to her. Now her head gonna be all big because y'all said all the nice things about her, because her behind is 70 years old and she still looks. She look all right. All right.
I can't get a big head no more because see, God don't like ugly. I don't want to take my head off.
I know that's right. So we're gonna get out of here. But again, thank you, and thank you, Connie. I do appreciate it. Thank you, and I love you.
Thank you.
Love
I
you.
I love everybody
Love you too,
else.
Donna.
All right, Donna.
Oh,
Love you.
as I say in each and every video and live, time is our most precious commodity. So make sure everybody that's in the chat and that was in the chat and that watched the replay, make sure you value your time. Spend your time wisely with yourself, your family, and those that are closest to you. And until the next video or the next live, deuces, y'all. Bye, y'all. Bye, chat.
Can me and Donna stay in and talk?
Yeah, hold on.